Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Regions video. Today we have a 1v1 on a 2v2 map. We have Contra in the top right hand corner here. And we have Total Annihilation in the bottom right. Now instantly we're seeing a difference in the spawn position here, with Lopatka going for a double mech start, more located in towards the middle of his side of the map, whereas Contra has decided to go for a triple mech start in the top left corner of the map on his side. Now, interesting thing to note on this map is that it has a tidal strength of 75, and you're like, where the heck are you going to get tidal on this map? It's all land. Well, you'd be wrong. These tiny lakes, or puddles, or whatever you want to call them, craters, and you can fit a single tidal generator in there. Now that's generating 75 energy, which is the equivalent of an advanced solar. So controlling these puddles are great for economy, and we can see over on Lopatka's side he already has one built. So 75 energy means he's not going to have to worry about it too much, although he still doesn't have enough. And zooming out very quickly here, we can see that Contra has gone for a vehicle start, which is the choice from the triple mechs, whereas Lopatka has gone for bot. Now starting to see some scouts come out from Contra, and we're not expecting to see too much going on in this early stage. Lopatka has a few grunts coming out. So we do have a arm-burst core makeup here. And Contra does not get the res bot, unfortunately, but does set the forest alight. Forest flames do obviously kill the trees, meaning you do not get the energy reclaimed from that. But Lopatka's main idea here is to get this metal in the corner. As we eat over this, we can see that there is about 630 metal. The energy income we can see there is from the trees. We see some good harass here coming from Contra. Probably going to get 2 metal extractors here, putting Lopatka down to a single metal extractor. That's gonna hurt. Will these scouts be able to get the triple mechs? I believe they will, yep. All 3 of mexes of Lopatka's are down now, with him just managing to rebuild one. That's a good, strong early advantage there from a raid from Contra. Looks like he's going to try and get another mex again, but with the comm there, that ain't gonna happen. So, interesting things to have a look at in this map. Both corners we see here have triple mexes, with 2 further mexes further forward. So there is a very high amount of metal on this map. It's going to be a rush to see who can claim it as quick as they can. Currently, even with Lopatka losing his starting position of mexes, he has expanded the most, and will now start pushing towards his front line. Now, another thing to note here is the top of the middle section here is buildable by air. And so is these cliff sides here. You can put a radar or something up there if you choose to. Maybe we'll see some secondary factories of air to try and make use of those locations. If you built a radar up there, you're going to get free vision. And another thing to note is, because of these cliffs, they're going to block your line of sight. So this radar, as we can see, only has radar vision here and here. So even if he builds one like down here, he's only going to get vision like this. So you are limited as to what you can see, and hiding your units from your enemy is going to play a key role in this. So we'll be interested to see how both players use that functionality of this map. Now we are seeing Lopatka here with a very large force of grunts amassed. We can see a total of 10 grunts to begin with, whereas Contra has about 6 blitzes at this point. He is going to get all of that reclaim, however. And Contra does not know that that reclaim bot is there at all. Now, as these players both line up their positions, Contra moving his commander south, Lopatka moving his commander north. Now, we expect to see both players send their commander one way and their army the other, and we can already see Contra doing this. Whereas Lopatka still hasn't really left his own base at this point. 3's more going up in smoke. Lopatka blocking off his side with LLTs. He is having energy issues though. He's invested quite heavily into engineers and construction turrets, but he does not have the engineers on build power except for this one guy right here. He was hoping, I presume, that the resbot and all that energy from all the trees would suffice. However, it's not really doing the job just as of yet. Now, we do see 20 grunts coming down now. Contra's Calm is on its own. So is the Lopatka's, though. 13 blitzes. Are we about to see a Calm go up in smoke? No, he gets his comm back to those LLTs, but... Ooh, the D-gun gets a good amount there. Contra in a bit of a tough spot here. Just starts seeing all these units. Doesn't have energy to D-gun. This is looking dangerous for Contra. It has enough for one D-gun. 80% health. 50% health. Great D-guns here from Contra. 20% health. 5, 4, 2. Oh my goodness. 2% health. Contra only just survives that with 90 health left. That was very, very lucky on his part. Well. However, Contra manages to take out 20 grunts, leaving Lopatka with no forces remaining. Also, Contra ahead on economy-wise here, being able to get all these additional max points and these max points here, whereas Lopatka is only just starting to take this top right-hand corner of his. Not looking good for Lopatka right now. Still struggling with energy, but has transitioned to brutes. Whereas Contra is still building blitzes. Has mixed in some Janisses though. Janisses are quite good versus grunts and swarm base units because they have a decent explosion radius. But their high damage does mean you tend to overkill. So he needs to bear in mind to not build too many of them. You can see here that Recoil has queued up a substantial amount of laser towers, whereas Contra's queued up a substantial amount of beamers here. And still blitzes being produced. I'll transition over to stouts now. And we see a good blitz raid coming in here from Contra. Will it get through? Aren't that many tanks there to stop it. This is where flanking damage is going to be an advantage here for the blitzes. For those that don't know, flanking damage happens when you're attacking a target from multiple angles. And it is a bonus to the damage done. Great blitz attack here. Both on this north side and the south side as well. So we see these units coming around. A lot of energy production killed here, as well as some mexes. Blitz is still going strongly. Will they get any of the energy converters? It gets 2, 3. A big economy hit there for Lopatka. Contra only losing a couple of blitzes for that damage, I think would definitely be worth it. However, this does mean right now that Lopatka has a sizable force of brutes that could push counter to that attack. We'll have to see how many tanks Contra can build in the meantime. At the same time, his commander has only gone up to 14%. He did actually build a metal storage as well, which is interesting to see. He must have built that while he didn't have any excess build power in his base, which we can see he is building now. And now has a vast amount of metal in his bank. So very quickly, as we look at the lines being drawn on the map, we're going to quickly check the statistics here. Metal produced, Contra is 1.4, 1.5k metal ahead. But it does look like it's increasing at a steady rate here. Energy production is quite a big difference here, but energy doesn't really matter if you're not going to put it to use, and we can see Contra with an excess of 22k right now. So not doing too well for using all of that energy. These beamers are going to stop Lopatka moving forward, with his commander at least. And yeah, Lopatka really needs to get more economy on the go. He's yet to take any of the south side mexes with his or with his units rather. And we're about to see a nice push in here as two tank forces go head to head. But with the added advantage of having those blitzes there, is going to be adding to the flanking damage on Lopatka's forces. Meaning that they're going to go down pretty quickly if he doesn't micro them well. And Lopatka does manage to get out of the flanking damage from the blitzes and is now pulling back. He is going to lose quite a few though. And the advantage swings back to Contra. Interesting. This bottom side is basically a no man's land, whereas at the top, both sides have kind of drawn the line in the middle, giving both parties their resources. Lopatka does get the forward mechs position as an advantage there, but he desperately needs to pick up his pace when it comes to economy. We can actually see Contra here now starting to make use of the excess energy he has and getting some energy converters. About to see another big tank push here. Contra striking while the iron's hot, not letting Lopatka's forces heal up at all before trying to push some more down. However, the closer you get to the base, you have to bear in mind the factory is going to be producing units. So just because you have a significant force right that second doesn't mean it's going to last forever. Oh, interesting to see on the north here, Lopatka with some Wolverines out on the field here. This will slowly kill those beamers. Ooh, we have a nice split through force here. Managed to get above Lopatka's forces. No retreat this time. They will get that engineer though. It's not too bad of a sacrifice to kill off this entire army. If Contra can get some reclaim bots down there, or just some engineers or something to reclaim that, then that's going to be a big metal boost. Which is exactly what Lopatka's trying to do here. Rather than mopping up, it looks like Contra's just planning on pushing straight through with these tanks. And it's just like, screw it, these guys are already dead if I try and retreat, so let's just go for it. And he managed to get 2 mexes. The engineer will survive. Those res bots will maybe just run straight past. Yep. And here we go into the base of Lopatka again as the blitzes speed past the tanks that were there. Lopatka panicking, moving all of his forces back. But too little too late as the blitzes get past and get some harass. The explosion there from the windmills actually manages to kill the blitz, but the stream of tanks coming into Contra's base, he does not have, Lopatka's base, he does not have the stuff to stop this. And yeah, it's not looking good here for Lopatka. He needs to stem the tide that is coming towards him. And unfortunately, his build queue has got these Wolverines chucking in that are not going to really do anything. See, another great set of economy damage going on here from Contra. Huge stack of windmills going up in smoke. And there goes some energy converters as the blitzes are being expertly microed around this base. Whilst the stouts coming in are just holding back this wall of brutes. Contra's great eco boost here is definitely helping. See a small little attack there trying to get those Wolverines, but I don't think it's going to do much here as these blitzes are just annihilating the energy production of Lopatka. And the blitz is now mopped up, but 2 tanks and a blitz left. Contra is starting to fall back, but the tide isn't coming towards you. It means that he's held it back. And we can see the swarm on the map here starting to build up. And I don't see Lopatka coming back from this. Massive economy damage. This force that went up here took out those 3 mexes and came back down and has managed to get a triple mex and killed more of his energy here. It's going to take a miracle for Lopatka to come back from this. Meanwhile, the reclaim field at the bottom is 5, 6k metal. A lot of metal. So you see Lopatka's last ditch attempt here to try and get somewhere. And unfortunately, it's just going to get mopped up in an instant. Great defense here from Contra. Didn't go too greedy on this south side. Held off the south side with laser towers. And didn't really push too far down here. He did once with his commander, and when he got a bit greedy. And with that, he fell back and never went back. So we can see here all of the wrecks on the south side. Meanwhile, the top side is slowly getting pushed in with these Wolverines, but I mean, it's not really going to matter much. If he had spare units that he could send around there now as a flank attack, would be perfect, but artillery isn't going to do much, and Lopatka knows it. He needs his commander there to assist on the bottom side. Resbot's trying to get some more forces up as a last desperate attempt to stave off the onslaught coming from Contra. He does have a decent amount of tanks, but this radar vision just now meant that Contra was able to pull off Lopatka's forces, meaning the stouts could get further into a better position. And now Lopatka's tank force again being attacked from multiple angles. Lopatka trying to mitigate that angle, but that does mean that he's just opened his base up for prime attack. And I think this tank force is going to do irreparable damage to Lopatka here. And I think this will be the end of him. With no commander to stop that, we see the vehicle factory go up in smoke. And if the bot lab goes up as well, that will be it. Construction turrets going down. Engineers almost dead. All energy production basically gone. He does have more units than are currently here attacking, but yeah, Lopatka knows it as well as the GG comes in. Well played, both players. It's very interesting to see how things worked out here. Contra did a lot better at getting control of his economy, and I think that's pretty much what won him the game. He managed to get control of his side very quickly, and he did almost lose it, though, very early on. So, well played, both players. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.